So Mr Smith's was on the banks of the Mersey in Warrington, close to Bridgefoot, which is quite a large bridge that goes over the river. And you could see from the outside that Mr Smith's used to be a cinema. It was kind of an Art Deco style building, quite iconic to people in Warrington, and quickly in the 80s became iconic to people from the surrounding areas, even Liverpool and Manchester really. The people of Warrington did campaign at one point in the 2000s to get it listed, because the council tried to get it demolished quite a few times because the land was worth a lot of money being on the riverfront, and they were planning a whole new riverfront development, which in the end didn't go ahead because that was prime land, but the people of Warrington didn't want them to build on it. Because it was by the river, it was quite a meeting place really. People like to congregate there, and especially on a summer's evening, lots of young people used to congregate outside Mr Smith's, even early in the evening when it wasn't open. Mr Smith's opened around about May 1986, and quickly became a venue for young people. It was quite cheesy dance floor music. It wasn't kind of indie music like you might find in Manchester or Liverpool, but the people, and young people especially in Warrington and the surrounding areas, travelled in sometimes 3 nights in a row to dance to this type of music. So it quickly got on the radar of Pete Waterman, who was a record producer, and he decided that he was going to launch a TV show from there. So when they were recording the TV show, The Hitman and Her, we used to go and try and catch the camera as we were dancing, so that when it was broadcast we could actually watch it and see if we could spot ourselves or someone that we knew. And sometimes when we were in Mr Smith's, we try and see if there was a footballer or two on the dance floor as well, and maybe get caught on camera beside them. We saw Rick Astley perform there, so he was really good, and being quite a local lad as well, that went down really well. Some other people that we caught there as well. Jason Orange could be regularly seen on the dance floor with people around him break dancing. It was good to watch that back as well. But in the late 90s, it started to go downhill really. It became out of fashion. People didn't want to go there for a night out anymore. They were rather travelling to Liverpool and Manchester. So unfortunately then, in around about 2010, it actually closed down. It wasn't making money anymore. And in 2015, rather sadly, it caught fire and ultimately had to be demolished. One of the main memories about Mr Smith's was seeing people outside afterwards and meeting up with people that you hadn't actually caught up with inside, because so much was going on, and you were noticing so much that you didn't realise that people that you knew were actually there. So in the lay-by next to the river, there was the hoagie wagon, which was the go-to place afterwards for something to eat. They did the best hot dogs in the world. At the time, it felt like that. And you would stand around and talk and hopefully catch a celebrity or two coming out, especially when they were filming The Hitman, before walking over Bridgefoot to go home. So really now Warrington is more of a place to go shopping or for a meal rather than a night out. There's no real iconic venues in Warrington anymore that come close to Mr Smith's. And Warrington's had a bit of a revamp lately, but it's more media based, more cinema based, rather than night out dancing. But it still seems strange travelling across the river and Mr. Smith's not being there. The site is just a wasteland now, used as a car park. Sometimes they'll put a small funfair on there, but the council haven't really allowed anyone to build on it. So it's a bit of a shame, really.